It is serial numbered. It is having a digital certificate. It is having a certificate of authenticity. And I was stuck and I asked him, how do I do? And he said, that's not my job. That's what designers do. I tried experimenting. A robotic arm holding the planet Earth and a small leaf growing out of it. When I first took few of my creations to a professional studio, and the technician almost laughed at my face. And he said, sir, what you have given can make 1 feet by 1 feet picture print, nothing more than that. And I was stuck and I asked him, how do I do? And he said, that's not my job. That's what designers do. I said, so who is a designer? He said, I don't know. And I had a problem. I didn't know how to expand this. So what does everybody do? I searched Google, I searched ChatGPT, I searched Gemini and all the chat engines. And while there were a lot of kind of solutions, most of this involved a large amount of money. You have to buy a hugely costly software and then to try your luck. So I was getting a little frustrated. Finally, I asked a practitioner of photography. He does digital photography and he is doing often enlarging pictures. Nowadays, AI is used also for that, because the AI, even if it is, let us say, 2 feet by 2 feet and you want to make it 5 feet by 5 feet, it senses the sequence, and much like the large language model, it fills in the outer space so as to make an HD image of whatever, up to a limit I guess, of whatever size you want. At least 3 feet by 3 feet is no longer a problem for me. With the help of that person, I was able to find a software that can use AI to, kind of expand at the correct DPI, that is 300 DPI, for whatever it is required for the large format printing. So this is one great problem that I had to grapple with. Next, what I did was I tried experimenting with various kind of prompts, and it is not easy, let me tell you. It takes hours of energy and time, because very often the large language models which are producing the art out of AI are making very weird and funny kind of results. I always ask one question when I see the first output from a machine. Is this something that I would keep in my own drawing room? If it is not, I am quite choosy, as I have traveled many international art museums of the world. I can distinguish between what is a good art and a bad art, and I know this I would never for the life of it put it on my drawing room. Then I just discard it and go forward, change the prompt, change the parameter, and try to do something that would be striking. It has to be striking and it has to be good. It has to give you a sense of peace. Nobody wants warfare photographs in one's. There are violent photographs, some of them I've seen, but usually people prefer tranquil, peace, nature, sometimes gods, Durga, Krishna, and tranquil images for their own drawing rooms. I try to make this with a different kind of background, with a different kind of approach that a normal conventional painter would usually do. So you can make out, for example, when I was doing a painting for doing a sustainable, somebody wanted, or I thought that there should be a picture to promote sustainable development, and I wanted to have, and finally ended in having a robotic arm holding the planet Earth and a small leaf growing out of it in a completely different format that what you would find normal image search or normal image repositories. There has to be a marriage with the improbable with the probable. That's my point of view. So after we select and where I think that this is a good picture to be had, and if I keep it in my drawing room, I think you also can think this is the kind of advice, this is the kind of judgment that I exercise, and I have to dabble with a lot of prompts and a lot of applications of the main two streams that I already spoke of. And after doing this comes another problem. People will say this can be copied, this can be replicated. People, mind you, that psychologists do not like to buy things that are very common. Why would I spend a few thousands of rupees on something that is given free with the newspaper, for example? Perhaps that is why women don't want to buy a sari which is already there. No two copies of saris in the same room. So similarly, art has to be such that it is not easily replicable. So what I did, I looked at original artists. What are they doing? If what they are drawing, that can also be copied by a lesser known artist. And I found that what is prevalent in the world of physical art is what is known as the certificate of authenticity. So it's basically a certificate given by the artist who is drawing the painting and signing on the painting with the same signature. He is giving a laminated certificate that certifies that this is an original authentic copy. Now, I am not the painter of the AI art. So what I did, I searched the entire internet to find out which are some notable art registry sites. And I finally zeroed in on one art registry site in Netherlands, and it's called My Art Registry, where people from all over the world can register their art. So all the creations I have registered there. A serial number is also given there, and it is anybody can check. So in the certificate of authenticity, there is a QR code that I have provided. One can check the QR code, go to the digital registry and check that this is the same art which is now in possession of whom. It's not an NFT, it is done by manually, but anybody in the world can check that this is an authentic piece of art. It is serial numbered, it is having a digital certificate, it is having a certificate of authenticity. I have promised to the world that this will be a single print art. Just like the artist himself who is doing a manual art can do another identical art because it is easy for him to do, but he does not do. Likewise, in the field of AI also, I have guaranteed, and when somebody comes, I tell them that if you ever find in the whole world the same piece is there, of course, somebody can take a photograph. I cannot stop that. Nobody can stop that if you take Xeroxes, but that level of detail, that original thing will never come. So that will not be done. It's a self-imposed restrictions, authenticized, digitized, QR code, managed kind of a thing, unique artificial art in the physical space. And this, I think, gives up, and this also sometimes gives me a sense of loss. So far, I have sold just a couple of my art pieces, and after, I find that you feel a kind of attachment with the object that you have created. It becomes your child. That after so many days of working and looking at it and finally deciding to give birth to it, that is to print it out, and then suddenly it's not yours, it's gone to somebody. Okay, you have got a bit of money, no problem, but that small loved object which you had nurtured is not there. It's a kind of sense of loss also. It's difficult to explain. I don't know whether manual artists also have this feeling, but I did get this feeling. It's a thought, it's an emotion, how you feel attached to your object of creation.
So the idea was that AI is something that we can't shy away from. It is there right in front of us. But in Kolkata especially, although whole of India I would say, but Kolkata especially, artists are shying away from, kind of you can say, because they think that AI is going to take away their job, because if everything can be done by AI, then why the artists are needed. So we wanted to make it a point that, okay, let's talk about it, because when the camera came, the same kind of fear was there. People were making realistic art, and then camera came. With a click you could make it. Then camera raha, art bhi chalta raha, artists did not lose their job, but they did something else after that. So similar kind of a conversation we wanted, that okay, let's see what AI art is. So when we were there and we saw that artists who were mainstream artists who were not really engaging in AI at all, when they came, they did not even know what AI actually does. So we actually explain to them that you have to give prompts, and this is how the art is generated. So it's not that it generates on its own, it depends on your prompts. So the prompts are very personal. So if you talk of Mama Badi is very different from everybody. So the prompt that you would give would be very different. So how the art will be same? Art will also be different in that case, because the prompts are different. So all those things was very new for the artists to engage with, and they understood, okay, AI is not something that they are thinking, but it is something that they can engage additionally with whatever they are doing. They can use AI in their art also. Like digital art is also there, AI art is also there, and similarly their conventional practice is also there. And because BCAF always encouraging the experimental art, whether it's a video art or whether it's digital art, that's why we thought that AI is very special thing that we must talk at this time. So with this idea we organized that.
It is made for the upper middle class. True, authentic Joganeshwari type arts are a class apart, the master class. We're tired of gifting pens and flowers and chocolates, I know. We have to put art in each of these staircases and lounges. Well, join me if you want to collaborate, if you want to enter this world. I have so far held 2 exhibitions with my AI art.